Welcome to Week 9 of the 2011 legislative session. From Tallahassee, I'm John Johnson, your Director of Government Affairs and Chief Lobbyist for the FICPA. Days 42 through 46 of the 60-day session ended up to be an unusually down week in the halls of the Florida Capitol, as the House held committee meetings on redistricting, and were also in full session on days 44 and 45, while the Senate took the entire week off for Passover and the Easter holiday. With only 2 weeks left in the 60-day session, and each chamber passing rival spending plans earlier this month that were $3.3 billion apart, what was noticeably missing during Week 8 was the high energy and high-level budget negotiations between House and Senate leaders, as state legislators are now unable to start their in-depth budget conference meetings until the Senate President and Speaker of the House sign off on how much money each is set aside for education, health care, transportation, and other major spending areas. This now leaves lawmakers with only 2 weeks to resolve their $3.3 billion spending gap if they plan on adjourning by May 6. In addition to the budget, as of April 25th, there have been a total of 2,412 bills filed, of which the FICPA is currently monitoring 383 of these bills. The 383 bills currently being monitored by the Institute either contain germane CPA language or a relevant statute has been referenced that could be amended between now and the end of session, having some positive or negative impact on the profession. 2 of those 383 bills can be found in this week's bill track, as the House of Representatives passed the Community Planning Act, House Bill 7129, which streamlined local government processes and allow more flexibility to design creative planning solutions that would encourage economic development in their communities. The Senate companion bill should be heard this week in the full Senate. House Bill 1195, a SERA section bill being tracked by the Institute, contains various provisions as relates to owner access to records, fee charges, and foreclosure and liens related to condominiums, cooperatives, and homeowners associations. This bill passed the House Judiciary and now heads for the full floor of the House. To track these bills and other bills of interest, log on to the FICPA homepage. Find the Gov Affairs link in the upper right, which will take you to legislative updates and to bill tracking. In this week's Now You Know segment, which is dedicated to keeping you informed about proposed amendments to Florida's Constitution being proposed by the Florida Legislature, this week's Now You Know amendment can be found in Joint Resolution House Bill 1359 and Senate Bill 1706. This proposed joint resolution would amend Article 4, Section 7 of the Florida Constitution and would increase the governing body that oversees the state university system from 14 to 15, and that one additional seat would be appointed by the governor from one of the 11 state university student body presidents. If this joint resolution passes both the House and Senate by 3/5 vote, this proposed legislative amendment would be placed on the November 12th ballot for voters to consider, which would require at least 60% of the voters to pass. And now you know. And finally, to end this week's report, House members charged with redrawing legislative and congressional districts met for the first time during Week 8 to get an overview of the redistricting process, as districts must be redrawn every 10 years to account for population shifts. Representative Will Weatherford, chair of the House Redistricting Committee, told committee members that he will engage the public to participate in the process and that technology would play a large role to get public input. The Florida Redistricting website can be found at www.floridaredistricting.org, and this website will allow Floridians to participate and to follow the process. And if you have any comments, suggestions, or topics of interest that you would like to see covered on a future broadcast of the Legislative and Regulatory Update, please email me, John Johnson at johnsonj@ficpa.org. Until next time, which will be our session wrap-up edition, have a great week.